we've been hearing so much news out of Tobago, and we've been talking a lot of serious issues, and this is another very serious issue as well. One that I think has touched everybody in some form or fashion, whether it is a friend, family, a relative, somebody you may have heard of somehow or the other. And I'm talking that the big C, as they call it, cancer. I wonder if they still call it the big C. But, I mean, unfortunately, it's affecting almost everybody that we know in some way, and but it can be prevented once it's caught in time. And this month, March, is actually National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And to tell us more about colorectal cancer, because it's something that once you catch it in time, like in any other cancer, it can do your chemo, do your treatments, and you can actually live a good while long, you know, after that. Dr. Allan De Freitas is here. He's a consultant, and he's going to explain to us more about what colorectal cancer is. And Elizabeth Kelly, who is the facility manager of CentraMed Surgical and Endoscopy Center. So good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And as you can see, they're both wearing blue because you wanted to say why, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Ria. So in the first instance, cancer, as we know, pink has been adopted by the Breast Cancer Foundation. Colorectal cancer's color is blue in solidarity with survivors and persons who have gone on to address the campaign. It is an American standard, so we are new to adopting this cause at CentraMed. So blue is symbolizing throughout our lab medical group. So if you go to our HealthNet medical and dental clinics, you'll see our staff in blue beads. If you go to South Coast Medical, you'll also see the gentlemen in their blue ties and blue beads. Dr. De Freitas is here with us in his blue tie.
Yes, in his blue tie, yes. Which is, of course, for colorectal cancer. So that's March. So people who want to and support of, and especially if you know someone with, you know, colorectal cancer, you can in fact support that way. And I know they've got the ribbons and a whole lot of variety of different things in different colors depending on the cancers. Tell us though, what is colorectal cancer exactly?
Well, simply put, colorectal cancer is a cancer of the large bowel, the colon, and it is the third leading, the third most common cancer in either sex around the world. It is also the second leading cause of death from cancer in either sex.
Is there a reason for that? That it's so, I don't want to use the word popular, but it's actually the cancer that second leading
cause of death, yes. I think the facts are that you can look at it, colorectal cancer, you can divide it into two different cancers. There's early stage or local cancer, and there's late stage regional or distant cancer with METs. And they are different in that if a patient presents with late stage or regional or distant METs, their survival 5 years down the line is about 5%. If they're caught or they present in the early stage, we call local disease, the expected survival is 90%. So two totally different populations, and unfortunately the overall mortality, because of how people present and when they present, falls right there somewhere in the range of 35 to 45% of people who get the disease.
But how do we know when we present? What are some of the signs and symptoms that show us that something is wrong and it may be cancer?
Absolutely. These are things that we try to, you know, beat into patients, teach doctors to look for, etc. And they're simple. Bleeding. If you see, if there's blood in your stool, you should go for a test.
And that's important, because people do not like looking at their stool, and it's important that you do. I mean, I'll admit I do. I look at my stool, I look at the color of my urine, all of that. You need to. It's important that you do.
But the thing is, this is, I mean, no pun intended, this is a red flag. It's a bright red thing that you can't miss. And the problem is that, you know, we simply don't pay enough importance to this particular symptom. There are a number of other symptoms, of course, but this is the one that seems to be most commonly ignored, because there's another entity, hemorrhoids, that are extremely common and cause the exact same symptom. So we have a problem with that. I have a personal problem, it's a personal peeve that people say, well, I have hemorrhoids, that's why I'm bleeding, and I've had them for 20 years, so I ignore this symptom, which is red flag. There are other symptoms. You can have pain, abdominal pains. You can have constipation, things like that, and you can have weight loss. Various other things. But you shouldn't ignore any of them.
Any of them. Yeah. Once you get one symptom, you should actually get yourself to a doctor and get checked out.
Yes, yes. And even if that doctor doesn't employ you to go on to have another
something done,
another test, then you should
find another doctor
take your
and
own
go
initiative.
and do something. Now, Elizabeth Kelly, you're the facility manager, CentraMed Surgical and Endoscopy Center. What exactly do they do?
So at CentraMed, we focus a lot on, it was actually on Dr. De Freitas' initiative. On his return, he spent 15 years in the UK working and living there. That he came to us and engaged, maybe we should have this specialist center that focuses so much on prevention. And so CentraMed has adopted a wellness approach and prevention approach. So we do endoscopy, both upper GI scopes and colonoscopies, lower end. It's a same-day surgical center as well. We've found a niche where there are so many surgeries, for example, hernia repairs, gallbladder removals, wound care, diabetic foot management, these things that can be handled same day and really capture the people that need it. A lot of times when you tell someone that you do need health care, they think of a huge bill and they really do stop, and that's when things get out of hand. You end up with amputations and you end up with losing body parts or losing your life because money is an issue. So at CentraMed, we've sort of created a niche, and that cost differentiation, we have avoided the big hospital costs.
Fantastic. Yeah. So the bottom line is have symptoms of anything, get checked, do the necessary tests, as Dr. Freitas said. If you find that you're not getting the answers that you want from your doctor, take the initiative and possibly do what you need to do as well. But you need to do it because it's your health that you're talking about, and that's most important thing. Thank you both for telling us about this. And I should have worn my blue. I do apologize.
I'll bring you one next time.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.